Welcome everyone. Adam and Thru here as the recording of this Sunday, August 6th, 2023. Again, since I am in the area where Tim Hortons has coffee, got a piping hot caffeinated beverage, and check out what is behind me, a rather large...
Hiya! Hey mister! Over here, Adam! Oh, what?
Scott on tape.
You left me up in Warren, Michigan, but I figured I need to come down here. So you keep running away. You're slick.
You have a cheers. I lost the top to mine.
I lost my top in San Francisco.
So you were saying that this at one point had something to do with a Ferris wheel.
Yeah, I was at a World Fair, and it was a Ferris wheel that was brought here. This is right on I-94. This kind of signifies if you're, especially if you're Canadian, you cross the border from Detroit, from Windsor into Detroit.
Yeah.
You can go right down I-75. That's how you do in Canada. You go to Florida every, for 2 weeks.
And this is like a beacon. This is like a landmark.
But you cut across a little bit,
okay,
go down I-94, then back to I-75. So this, for me as a kid, when I saw this, I was like, I'm in the States, and they have tires.
I love it. Welcome to America.
Thank you.
I'm inviting you to join me, Scott on tape.
Ciao, you.
So right, a couple miles from here is the Henry Ford Museum. We're going to check out a place that I've wanted to go for many, many years. We're going to go over there. There's a few key items I want to show in there, and then there's some things I don't even know what's going to be in there. But I cannot take my eyes off this Uniroyal. You think? Uniroyal.
What's the Uniroyal?
I say uni.
You say unicorn?
You say unicycle? That's one, right? That's one wheel, and that's one wheel. That's a uni.
You don't say unicycle, though. You say unicycle.
I say uni. Oh, there's a train. That's a train. Ooh, we might have to do the train. So Scott said we're in Dearborn now.
Dearborn, Michigan.
Not Detroit. We're on the outskirts, the greater Detroit area, but technically Dearborn. It's also starting to rain. Now there are a few things I am looking forward to seeing. One of them is the Charles Kuralt On the Road RV. There's also the Rosa Parks bus. There's also the chair, the Lincoln chair. The last moments of Lincoln. And then there is also the JFK limo from Dealey Plaza. Those are the four things, but there's other stuff I'm sure I'm gonna love too. The Henry Ford. I gotta be honest, I'm kind of going into the spoiler free. I don't know what to expect other than the four key things that I really wanted to see with my own eyes. All right, heading in. Cost was $35 just for the museum. Now there are other items on property, but just doing just the museum and the things I feel like the museum is going to be expansive enough. Check out this plane. It looks like the Wright brothers plane, a recreation of the same era here in the lobby. All right, this is pretty awesome. You can smell the Mold-O-Rama. You can also see the machine, so you can get either Henry Ford or you can get the one with the car itself. Yeah, little Mold-O-Rama machine. It's good to see some working Mold-O-Ramas. $5, you can get a little souvenir. All right, there's a bunch of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's like 10 of them. It's almost a dozen Mold-O-Ramas. You can get Abraham Lincoln's noggin right there. Oh, even the Wienermobile. Henry Ford Model T. You can even get the JFK car, locomotive. That's awesome. Have made it in. First thing I'm seeing is a plane off in the distance, way down there. Also, Thomas Edison's signature is right here in concrete. Take a look at that. That is wild. Thomas Edison signed the concrete right there. Northwest Airlines, the Douglas DC-3. All right, just my first impression walking in here, this place is awesome. All right, this is selections from Michael Graves, not the Misfits Michael Graves, the designer and architect Michael Graves. All these items here were items that he constructed. Fun fact, the Celebration Post Office was built by Michael Graves.
Michael Graves artifacts his architect.
So I live in a town that features the work of Michael Graves, not from the Misfits. The theory of probabilities is showing All the little round spheres there going down. The theory of probabilities. There's no thing more than good sense confirmed by calculation. Ooh, I keep expecting a witch to be here, prickling the finger on that. The old spinning wheel. This place is massive. All the different eras of kitchen kind of reminds me of Carousel of Progress in a way. Getting into some antique farm equipment over here. This Caterpillar. John Deere, of course. FMC Corporation. Oh, look at this. Good one. Serious classic car alert. There it is. The Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. Yellow band wieners. Look at that thing. I love it. I want to drive that around. Look, it's like a hot dog on top of the car itself. This is a 1952 Wienermobile. In 1936, the Oscar Mayer Company began to promote their hot dogs on the streets of Chicago. The only 52 model in its original design is right here. Love it. Now this definitely has some Disneyland type vibes, even though it is not Disney correlation. It is from the 1964 World's Fair. Kind of has that small world type vibes, and they have a mirror down there that lets you see underneath the inside of it. But you know, definitely has that early Disney type of vibes in the 64 correlation, even though this was an IBM pavilion kiosk. Into a lot of old furniture area here. This is a television. Right in the middle of the screen is a Predicta television receiver, 1958 to 1960. Right down there with the radio at the bottom of it. It looks like something from the future, like something like the Jetsons would have in the future, but really it was from the 1950s. And there's a sewing machine. And this table right down, this card table, belonged to John Hancock. And right here, this chest of drawers, or Chester drawers, depending on how you refer to it, belonged to George Washington's mother. All says so right here. High chest of drawers, owned by Mary Ball Washington. Samuel Clemens, also known as Mark Twain, wrote at this very desk, right below the portrait of himself. Right there. That is incredible to think about. And Edgar Allan Poe right here, number 6. This was Edgar Allan Poe's portable writing desk. I mean, wow. I mean, really, that's awesome. Now, I was lucky enough to go in Xanadu Home of the Future in Kissimmee, Florida before they tore that down years ago. But this is the tour of the Dymaxium House, the new way of living for 1946. It is a complete circle. You can peek down inside. You got the couch over there, you got the table, you got the coffee table, you got the little fireplace. Just listening to the conversation one of the workers was having with another guest. This is the only one of these left in the world, and back in the day, you used to be able to go in here. But they have since, there was something wrong with the floor, they fixed the floor, then the events of 2020, they have not started letting guests back in, even a couple of years later. But this is awesome, the only one of these left in the world.
And the cables coming down would tie into these steel rods, and the house would be kept under tension. So that's what Dymaxium stands for, is dynamic maximum tension. And it actually made it very strong with the design of it. It could withstand 125-mile-an-hour winds. Here with the black drawer pulls and the backsplash on the counter there, that's actually the refrigerator that's built into it. So it's not as big because we shopped different back then. We went to the market like every other day instead of going grocery shopping for a couple weeks at a time. On the other side of that wall is another bedroom. And what you would do is you would push a button and those would rotate like a Ferris wheel. And you would hold the button down until the drawer you wanted came up, and you would take your stuff out.
Those are drawers over there.
Oh yeah, and so that way they show the room and share that.
Fascinating.
But there would be 2 bathrooms here, so there'd be a bathroom that, as you see
I think it's a pretty great idea. I could see myself owning some land and living in one of those. Just plop it down and there you go. Full 360 home. A lot of pop culture items as well. Check out one of the first video game systems. Atari's Pong. Also the Snoopy phone. Oh, and even the Atari 2600. Speaking of video game systems, there's Pac-Man down there. Oh, Scott, they recreated your room over here. Not from your youth, but your modern day room. This is where you look like now, yeah. Oh, there you even have the self-portrait right there.
Yeah, right above my head when I sleep.
Yep, right there.
I'm adorable.
You wake up and you go, you don't even look in a mirror, you just look at yourself. Oh, wow, they actually have some of the Ataris that were, I think these are the ones that were like buried, like with E.T. Oh yeah, it's the E.T.s that they ended up burying and then they uncovered years later. I've never seen one in person as far as I can recall. Say hello to internet in a box. And yes, VCRs used to be this size. This is the size of a truck. Got a steam engine cylinder here. Look at this big wheel. It's like 20-foot tall wheel. Yeah, this thing is massive. And I was overheard some people talking that this isn't even, there's ones that are even a lot bigger and taller than this one. Just like spinning around. The Tower of Power. You got all the way up to 19?
Yeah, I'm pretty strong. You know, I'm buff. I'm an athlete. I don't like to ride. Go for it. See?
Ooh, I got to 19. Is that me?
It's malfunctioning.
Oh, it's malfunctioning?
Yeah.
Okay. Dang. And now getting into the wintry regions from Wright Whirlwind engines right here. The Josephine Ford Bird Arctic Expedition plane. If you could see, there's not wheels. There's like little snow skis down at the bottom. And they're trying to like read the map over there in the winter storm, the blizzard. Oh, he's doing some kind of stunt flying or something. You know, he's got that look. I gotta say, this might be one of the best museums I've ever been in. It honestly is one of the best. Definitely top tier when it comes to museums. And this is in fact a recreation of the Wright brothers. You got one of the Wrights there and you got the other Wright over there. All right, this is kind of neat. They show it here. This is a still from that moment and the recreation here in the museum, in the Detroit Museum, right there. Well done, very, very well done. Well worth the $35 admission. This place is massive. Just how many different, you could spend all day, a couple days in here if you wanted to read everything. Oh, it looks like the Floyd Bennett is going to a place I could definitely embrace, a place called Coffeeville. And away from the plane area and getting into some automobiles, this Henry Ford's kitchen sink engine is something J. Thaddeus Toad would definitely love to ride in. Mr. Toad, he loves himself a wild ride. Serious classic car alert through here. Overload. Got the neon up there at the Douglas Auto Theater, driving America, and then looking down this row of classic cars right here from the fender. That's what happens when you're in the Motor City. You're gonna get lots of automobiles. This is my kind of place. Got some transportation devices, got some horse-drawn carriages, got some crosstown trolleys over here, got a wagon from the horse and buggy days. Not just cars, dating back to the olden days, even touching on some fast food. You got Speedy up there, pre-Ronald McDonald, or the different mascot that McDonald's used to have. And then, of course, eating on the go. You got the Orange Crush here. You got Bob's Big Boy. There was Frisch's Big Boy, Bob's Big Boy, one of my favorites. There's Kip's Big Boy. There's an ashtray from Kip's. Yeah, I love the reflection of the neon there. Please do not litter. You got the non-biodegradable Mickey D's containers. They don't have those anymore. You got the Transformer fries, Super Size Me, right there. There's an old dining car behind it. It's 56 Chevy Bel Air. A&W root beer. There's neon everywhere. White Castle. Again, very, very well done. This entire place. Always good lighting when you stand underneath, behind, or in front of classic neon. Fast food neon. This might be one of the best museums I've ever been in.
Yeah.
How many times have you been in here before?
It's my second time.
Second time.
And you know what's coming up right over there.
Are you seeing things that you hadn't seen before on the first time?
I can't remember. It's been about 4 years, but where we are right now is my favorite part coming.
I know what you're pointing at. Yeah. It's the JFK limo, right?
Wild.
You've been to Dealey Plaza.
Yeah. But I think that it went back into, we were talking about it yesterday, it went back into rotation as a presidential car after the fact. It's wild.
I know.
They use it
I wouldn't
again.
want to sit in it.
No.
I'm going to go look at it, but I'm not going to sit in it. Okay, this is unbelievable. Unbelievable to see this in person. Jackie O in the back, crawled across the trunk towards the back. I've been to Dallas, I've been to Dealey Plaza, I've watched the Zapruder film 1,000 times. And this is the car. This is the car. Jackie O on this side, JFK on that side. So just think about it for a minute. So you got the driver there, you got the Secret Service. So you got the door. He was sitting in the back seat with his arm right where the door kind of buckles there, which would have been right on this very side. So right there, sitting in that back seat. And you got the little, where the service agents are right there against. Man, this blows my mind. And as Jackie O crawled back onto the trunk, this is where the other agent put his foot right up on there. It's unbelievable. Getting into some old gas station areas. Got the Texaco. Oh, you got a cab over here. There's even a Holiday Inn. There's like a motel section down here too. The old family vacations. Got the VW bus over here. Then you got the early lodging of like a cabin on the lake. Kind of the evolution of camping in a bus like this. A toll booth over there, 20 cents for a toll. And you got some campground stuff and even like a camper. Full-size trains and miniature trains galore in here. I do love train. Oh, and the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile going around down there as well. Just trains everywhere. Trains, Wienermobiles, trolleys. Look at this, trolleys racing the train and keeping up with it very nicely. Do love some trains. Take a look at this car. I've never seen that before right there. And tucked away over here in the corner, this is one of the main reasons I wanted to come here. Charles Kuralt, the On the Road series. He kind of stepped out of the comfort zone of normal news broadcasting and started going to small towns, back roads, lesser traveled areas. I'm gonna say I have like super inspiration people, but definitely Huell Hauser, California Gold, and Charles Kuralt On the Road. Definitely people I respect their form of, you know, showing things that other people weren't really doing. And not that I model everything I'm doing completely after how they're doing it, but in a lot of ways, you know, not only inspiring, but also just something I admired. And as the story goes, basically he went to his bosses and said, I want to do this kind of like back road type series and feature small areas, small towns. And they were like, oh, you could try it for a little while. And it ended up lasting 27 years. This is the last of several motorhomes. So it wasn't the only one, but it was the last one he used before the series ended. TV crew on America's Backroads, they took time to, quote, meet people, listen to yarns, and feel the seasons change. There's Charles right there. There he is in the front with Izzy Bleckman driving and Charles Kuralt navigating. Back before GPS, you had to use the Atlas. And there they are working on it themselves right there. Look at this, Charles being the supervisor, looking at the guys as they're fixing the motorhome. It's amazing. It's just,
Go ahead, Alan.
I really want to go inside that RV, but can't go inside the RV. So here's like the sleeping arrangements back here. So this was like it's like predated my large Marge for a while, even though I really preferred doing the van dwelling more than I prefer being in an RV. But this is pretty cool. This is pretty dang cool. Just got in, hit the road, document it. If you ever had a chance to watch any of those on the road series, you can find them online and on YouTube and all that. Definitely worth checking out. It's pretty genius. All right, over to the area with liberty and justice for all. Abraham Lincoln. And that is the Rosa Parks bus. They have the Montgomery City Line Rosa Parks bus in here. They're giving a little tour on there. There's a tour guide in there talking. You can walk up either towards the rear or towards the front.
My wife is.
Oh, this one here?
Well, when they restored it, in 1948, when they had outsourced the building, the glass, any one piece that was missing, they had to mimic it. They had to create it. They couldn't find it on the old.
Oh wow, this is Abraham Lincoln's chair right here. This is the chair that he was sitting in at Ford's Theater. Right there. Upholstered seat rocking chair. Was made up until 1865. This is the actual chair in which President Lincoln met his demise on April 14th, 1865. It was originally located in the president's special box inside Ford Theater in Washington, D.C. That is the chair Abraham Lincoln was sitting in. That is something else. Just wrap your head around. Yeah, this place just has so many artifacts. The JFK car, the Lincoln chair, Rosa Parks bus, the on-the-road RV. Those are the four I wanted to see, but I am stumbling on so much more that I was not expecting to see. You just think of Honest Abe sitting right here, not knowing what was going to happen to him moments later. It's just right when you exit off of where the bus is. Just right over here in this little alcove. Yeah, and if you look at some of the stains that are on here as well, they're just right over the back of the head, back of his shoulder, right there. He was looking forward and snuck up behind it. Now in front of John F. Kennedy's limo is the Reagan car. Now I've been to the spot where he ended up surviving, and the Reagan Museum in the Valley of California, a really good museum. They have his suit, but here is the car that the service guys pushed him into. Julia?
First you must stop the bleeding.
Okay, perfect. Okay. See if those turned out. If not, I could take another one.
All right, who wants a grilled cheese? Oh, souffle.
That was,
And in English, that's souffle. Okay, yeah. Got it.
We are now going to head over to a place called Holiday Grill, Coney Island. Evidently, in this area, in the Detroit area,
Gotta get Coney Island.
Coney Island is like a big thing. When I think of Coney Island, I think of the real Coney Island, but evidently it's like a Detroit thing as well. And each Coney Island has its own name. What we're going to is Holiday Grill, Coney Island. We could eat here at the Plum Market Kitchen, but we're opting for some Coney Island. I'm told that's kind of like a win in Rome moment. Take a look at this. Someone is driving this old relic to look at old relics. That's awesome. Right here, parked amongst all the newer cars. Look on the front. There's a bird. It's got a CD player in there?
No.
All right, now I kind of expected it to be a little more themed than like a little empty Romero style
Look at all the
Dawn
stores, like the empty stores.
strip mall.
Wow.
Holiday Grill, Coney Island. Have you ever eaten at a Coney Island before?
I have. I've eaten a couple of them.
So they're all the same, just different names in front of the Coney Island.
Yeah, and Party City, you see where it used to be.
Party City was there.
Party is over.
It is not being utilized for anything.
Look, even the sign for the mall, for the plaza, there's no words on it.
Oh yeah, the mall, it's just nothing anymore. All right, let's go in. So what's the go-to in here?
Well, I think they're famous for their hot dogs for sure, but they've got everything. They've got everything.
All right, this is the hours here. Oh, they have their own little mat down here. Holiday Grill, Coney Island. Got an Ansel Adams photo. We got the old diner style booths through here. Take a look at this.
Ready?
Oh, look at that. Look at that. You work here?
No, don't pour that on there.
So I kind of went with the textbook. I was asking the server what I should get. She said to get the Coney Island dog, which is basically chili, cheese, and mustard on a hot dog bun. And Scott ended up getting some breakfast food. And I gotta say, pretty dang tasty. And something that's just in the area when you think of Detroit. From what I'm told, you think of the Coney Island dog places. They also have a lot of Greek food too, which I guess they're known for hot dogs and Greek food. And what do you hear again? It's raining right now. Are you scared of the rain?
I can't stand the rain.
You'd be all right.
Tina Turner couldn't stand Lorraine.
She couldn't?
She said, I can't stand Lorraine.
She played that one show, right, in the pouring rain that time? Or I'm
did?
thinking of a different artist.
I don't know. I don't know, man.
I'm pretty full right now.
Yeah.
What was that thing that you lit on fire?
Saganaki. It's basically a Capolagoraveria cheese or some whatever name it is.
We gotta run to the rental car from here.
Run to the rental.
Should probably end the video right here.
Yeah. Hey, mister.
All right, that's gonna do it for not only today, but for the 2 days I spent with Scott on Tape. Check out his channel, YouTube's own Scott on Tap, Scott on Tape.
I'm gonna say Bird on Tape. Call me Scott on Tape, please.
Look him up, watch his videos, tell him I said hello.
Tell him Adam sent you.
Yeah.
Tell me Adam sent you. I gotta tell you a funny story off camera, by the way. And this is actually, I know something happened. Oh no, you were there.
Well, that's gonna do it for today. I'll see you in the next video. The vlog
is over. However, if you want a good story,
I do want a good story.
let me tell this one.
Just for good measure, tell me one last good story.
We're gonna go up I-94, and as soon as you get to I-94, you're gonna get off.